Okay. Whoa. You guys, wicked sorry. Wicked sorry. 12:23. Yeah, my bad. My bad. I I love it. I am so sorry, you guys. Apologies all around. Um Hey there. Totally forgot. Here now. Okay, in case anybody was looking for me, uh yeah, here I am, Penny. So apologetic. Um, I literally just hopped out of the shower, and there we go. That one persona I just sent you a message. Hopefully, Kara. Yep. Do do do. I'm here now. My bad. There we go. Let me just make sure that I have reassured the people who were kind enough to reach out. Okay, Penny, you did. Okay. Total just human mistake. Okay. I'm gonna backtrack it, but in the moment, yeah, quack quack. Here you go. Okay, so here's what happened. Here's what happened. I am backtracking. So I had a client reschedule earlier today, and so my brain kind of just went to when's my next client, and then I'm just getting out of the shower, and I'm like, do 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 do. Yeah, so I did my TikTok live this morning, and then the next time I do a YouTube, and then I was like, yeah, oh my God, I'm supposed to be on YouTube right now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Well, you know what, you guys? I am touched. I am touched that you were worried about me and you were checking in to make sure everything is okay. So let me, as a mama duck, let me reassure you all is well. And hey, these things occasionally so rarely happen to me that it's inevitable that it's going to show up sometime. But thank you, heaven, Freudian slip, huh? All is well. I seriously came back from yoga, and my mind said one thing, but my calendar said another thing, and I didn't check my calendar. You guys, I relied on what my brain said, and I didn't just double check on what I had written down. And I knew I had an extra hour to play with because a client rescheduled. And then the calendar in my brain just kind of popped over this half hour. So yeah, it is rare, but it does happen. Hey, you know what? If I was AI, that wouldn't have happened. AI doesn't pull shit like that, but humans, sometimes we're late. So all is well. Thank you. Thank you for checking in on me. And I'm so glad, as I was there kind of just dolling up my due, that I remembered, because I would have felt even worse if I had been any later. Okay. So the fact that we are here now and it's late, and we can all kind of notice our nervous systems get alerted. Oh my gosh, something different. What's happened? We're going to slow down. We're going to calm down, and we're going to have some fun for this next 35 minutes. Okay. So, nope, Shannon in retrograde, you thought you flubbed the time zones. Human error. It happens. I am not a robot. So, thank you so much for checking in with me. And here I am. Here we are together. So, let's take a moment. Notice how our brains go to, I hope everything is okay. Somebody's not hurt. Somebody's not dead. Something bad didn't happen. So, it may take a little bit for our nervous systems, and especially mine, to kind of reset. But here we are. Yeah, I'm almost always on time. I am pretty much always on time. As kind of like me, I say I'm always there except for when I'm not. I think this has happened to Judy Dukes in the past almost 3 years of doing TikTok lives and YouTube lives, and many times in this later year, doing them daily and twice daily. I can specifically recall one other time where this happened, and that's pretty good. 1 and 2 out of 950 opportunities, that's a pretty good record. But yay, thank you for worrying about me, and let me assure you again that everything is fine. That being said, how do you want to make most of the time we have together? Okay? How do you want to do that? I'm here for you. I will need to hop off at like 12:59, But we have over a half an hour together. Not an hour, but a smaller amount. And so kind of like decluttering. If I have an hour, I can get this done. If I have a half an hour, I can get other things done. So what can I help you with today now that we're all like, phew? I will say that I am going to get my phone plugged in so that I can. Penny Myers needs to keep track of passwords. Ooh, there's many ways to do that. I will say, I do use Google Password Manager. I have written down passwords. I have used a similar kind of combo of words and letters for various things and augmented those so they're not easily identifiable, but it's a process that I use. Penny Myers, but I will say this, I am not a what do I want to call it? Like a cybersecurity person. So I think the best thing to do would be to Google that. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Using Zelle now requires a token for each institution, and I need to manage mine and my mom's. Hopefully nobody's going to break into my house, but I have some of those things written down and hidden away where I know where they are. I also use the saved thing. And yeah, notice the security that we want to have for that. So I don't know if I have any good answers to that. But I just wanted to let you know that there are ways you can do it. And I just want to get the TikTok Live started to be downloaded as well from earlier today. So the reason I bring that up, the TikTok Live from earlier today, is because we were talking about decluttering your food, like your pantry, your cabinets, that type of thing. So if anybody has any follow-up questions on that, that would be a nice little thing, you know. That one persona, housekeeping question. Is anyone else having issues with the YouTube Live replays? I can't see the chat on the replay, and I've been able to in the past. Interesting. Interesting. You know what? Thank you for mentioning that one persona. I am going to put a little check YTL's chat avail. I don't know if I could do it right now. I could, but it would take my time away from you. But what I will do, that one persona, is after I coach this afternoon my clients, I will take a deeper dive into the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. And it could be something as simple as like a button that got unchecked for the chat. This is one of the reasons why I think it's great that I kind of got in the habit of re-speaking what's in the chat. Yeah, and maybe it is. I don't know if it's something as a user you can toggle on or off. One thing I did think was really cool, though, so I'll offer this to you, is with the YouTube lives, and I think the TikTok lives as well, when they're uploaded to YouTube, you can adjust the speed with which I speak. So I can talk really fast, or I can talk really slow, depending upon what feels good to you. The other thing is you can turn on kind of closed captioning, and sometimes I read the closed captions as well. It might be a user toggle. I'm not sure, but I will find out on my end to see if it's something that happened with me. Okay. So the one thing I will say about passwords is I know it's a pain in the ass. I do. But think about knowing the combination to a safe. Having a difficult password, very few people are probably breaking into your home and stealing things as much as they used to. But man, are they going to try? They're probably trying all the time to break into our digital things. So the more you can create a password that is difficult for other people to think of, the safer you're going to feel if somebody tries to break into your digital life. Okay. There we go. Cynthia, nice to see you. I purchased a Staples file folder box last night. I love it. Not for house stuff, but working great for an organization I volunteer for. Wonderful. Wonderful. I will share with you guys, as we talked about decluttering paperwork earlier this week. This is now empty. I just have to put 2026 on the cover of it, and then I can start to file my 2026 stuff. And I took the papers from 2024 that I had pulled out, and I did what I said I was going to do. I put them in a paper shopping bag. I said shred on it. I put the date on it, and then I put it down in the basement so I don't have to deal with it for like a year or so. Or whenever there is a shredding event. So I'm also going to look up shredding event. You might want to write this down too. Shredding event in my area. In my area. Now, I bet some of you have shredders in your home, but what I have found, I have done that, and sometimes it can be therapeutic and kind of mind numbing and soothing, and other times it can be something that is annoying and takes time. So depending upon how you feel about shredding, you might want to do it yourself. I don't like to waste the time, and I don't like the dust that comes up and the staples get jammed and how it takes up my trash. So I am happy to see if there is a free shredding event. Sometimes they do it at my town hall. Other times it's at the library. Sometimes it's an external thing with the JCs or something. So think of that. If you do not enjoy shredding, however, you want to feel safe that nobody's stealing your identity from your paper trail. Not that there's much on your paper trail right now, honestly, because you don't have a lot of the identifying information that we used to. I will share with you. I saw something the other day, and I remember back when I started at Pier 1 Imports, I'm not kidding, we used to ask for people's social security numbers and we would write them on their checks. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, Christine is like, right here. Sometimes you can overwhelm your shredder and you need to purchase a new one. So yeah, Judy Dukes is saying it does take a lot of time. I have a huge pile to shred and I keep putting it off. So here's a fun thing. This would help me out because then if that doesn't work, knowing that it may help you to have somebody else do the shredding for you. And ideally, trust me, I'm as thrifty as the next person, ideally getting it done for free. Perhaps one of the things you can do on your list of things that'll take less than 2 minutes to do today, your short, easy peasy list would be to Google, free shredding or recycling event in insert name here. Okay. If it doesn't work, I will share this with you too. Staples and the UPS store also will do shredding for you. You just have to pay for it then. Okay. And it is a time saver. It is a time saver. Okay. Coffee and chaos. Coffee and calm. I love it. Glad you showed up. Well, there we go. And see, this is an interesting thing. Lady Bandit, notice the difference. Having a huge pile can be overwhelming. Overwhelming your shredder because you're doing so much and you probably burn the motor out, as Christine says. Lady Bandit says, I love my shredder. I use it every day. Notice the chunking down of doing the shredding every day. And it's in a great location, and that makes it easy. I shred as I go. Yeah. Inch by inch, life's a cinch. Yard by yard, a cubic yard of shredding is going to be hard. A cubic inch will be a cinch. So you might play around with that. What you might want to do too is you could experiment with the two. Kind of get yourself a clean slate. Get the stuff out of your house now by hook or by crook and start with a clean slate, and then redo your habits. Instead of having it pile up, you could shred it as Lady Bandit does on a daily basis. Okay. All righty. Penny Myers, how about an international travel packing? I'm trying to organize lists for personal carry-on and checked bag. Need to take a checked bag, 14-day place trip plus souvenirs and gifts. Okay. This may come as a surprise to you guys because I am so all about writing it down and doing stuff like that. I don't really use a paper packing list. I throw things in a bag and I figure it's good enough. I am very casual with my packing. And the reason I am is because I tend to wear the same, as you know, the same colors of clothes. And here's a phrase that helps me, Penny, that might help you not overpack your clothes, is I travel to see the world, not for the world to see me. The world doesn't know if I wore those black leggings yesterday. The world doesn't know if I wore that dress before. Now, maybe in my snapshots it may come out. Uh, but what I will offer to you is it might help you to write down those things, but also to lay out. I will say there's a girl named Riley. I think it's Rilee on YouTube or TikTok rather that I have watched because she's all into packing cubes and she what do you call it? Reviews luggage. And that's how I found like a good carry-on that was good for international as well as domestic. You might want to research her stuff. Even when I think I have packed just the right amount, almost inevitably I've packed too much. We are traveling internationally next week, Wednesday to Monday. And had in my head of what I was going to bring. And then I found out from somebody who was going to the thing that we're going to. She's like, oh, yeah, I overpacked the first year. Pretty much it's, T-shirts and super casual. So I also don't mind wearing things again because I also like to travel light. The problem will be, as you said, is if you are checking a big bag, you might be tempted to, oh, just one more thing. I'll just throw it in just in case. I mean, clutter. I'm going to keep this one thing just in case. It can make your bag heavier and you may not even use it. Okay. You also may help yourself by reminding yourself if you want to buy souvenirs and gifts to not not make that suitcase chock-a-block full. But it might help you to write things down, get the things out of your head. Is there, like, for example, we have one that's like t-shirt night. So what t-shirt am I going to bring? What am I going to wear for the theme night? Is there any fancy place I'm going out to dinner? How fancy is it? Is there a dress code? Do I have clothes? Do I want to do any working out when I'm at the thing? Kind of envision what you are going to be doing, write it down. And then to me, see how much clothing you can kind of double up on. I like to travel light, so that's what I do. And it's worked out for me. So I hope it works out for you. Thinking more about what goes in which bag. Okay. So what I would offer is this. So my husband is checking the big bag and I am checking my carry-on. I'm not checking my carry-on. I will make gosh darn sure working out. Right. I know. I'm going to make sure that all of my important stuff that I don't want to lose, my medicines, anything that's not easily replaceable is going to be on directly in the carry-on that I can put under my seat. And I say that because even if I am taking my my wheelie bag, my one that usually goes up above, on the off chance that they make me gate check that, and then suddenly it mysteriously disappears, I try not to bring anything really sentimental or irreplaceable with me when I travel. So I offer the most important things should go with the bag that you're going to bring with you. The second, and then it's concentric circles out. So maybe that will help. So I'll just envision it. I actually have a pouch that I keep with a lot of the things that I usually just put in a underseat bag, chapstick, Kleenex, stuff like that. And I will put that in whatever bag that I am going to put underneath. Any of my medicines, because I want to make damn sure I feel good. I want to make sure I have my passport and my license and my cash. If somebody goes to mistakenly open my suitcase and think they're going to steal anything, I don't want them to be rewarded with anything good. So that might help. But I will offer this, both you and me, Penny, we probably would benefit from, as I'd like to say, writing things down just to get it out of your head and down on paper. The one thing I do have written down, I just realized too, is I have this mini checklist when I'm doing a travel, which is flights, check, lounge plan, check, hotel, check, airport parking plan, check, rental car, check, hold mail, check, dinner and activities reservations, check. So these to me is the repeatable, this is right there. See, little smileys. This is where I write to myself. These are the most important things when I'm booking travel to make sure I get that done, especially if I have multiple trips going on. Okay. Hope that helps. And Lady Bandit, I wasn't ignoring you, but oh my goodness. So Lady Bandit woke up this morning to a tornado warning. She's okay. We had 3 touchdowns and it wasn't football. and do a little damage to towns nearby. And yeah, that was not on my 2026 bingo card. I have a feeling I already had something that is a little bit too personal. It's fine. But I had something pop up yesterday out of the blue, as some things do, that was not on my 2026 bingo card either. So it may be one of those, years. All right. But yay for no injuries. But speaking of that, Lady Bandit, that might be a good reminder to say, if there were a tornado, where are my important things? Notice when Penny and I were talking about traveling and packing for travel, that the most important things should be in the bag that never leaves you. Could you easily grab the most important papers and things um, in your home, in your life, and get them safely with you? I mean, honestly, the cool thing is, even this, the papers that I save in this is pretty much just dead storage of things that are probably already exist in page format somewhere on a website. Okay. But even this is going to be a lot more portable. If I need to grab and go and run away from a tornado, that's going to be a lot more easy than me trying to lift things out of a totally huge metal um, uh, filing cabinet. So just notice this for everybody. None of us expect a tornado, but if there were one, even just play the game. If something happened and I needed to get out of my house, where's my cash? Where's my important stuff? Where are the things that I want to take? Can I easily grab the sentimental jewelry? Do I have that separated out from my junk jewelry? How about the important papers? How quickly could I gather up my important things and get the hell out of Dodge if I needed to? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go bags are important. You're in Oklahoma. See, up here in PA, I'm like, oh, a go bag. Okay. Yeah. All right. Um, Robin is okay. Robin's at excuse me, I can't speak. My husband has me using a password locker that creates a wonky 12-digit password, then it saves them. Only I can use it because we use biometrics to log in. Interesting. Talk about the what do you call it? The modern world, huh? Talk about the modern world. Yeah. Yep. Robin also has husband who shreds every day. So notice this. Everybody's got their own kind of way of thinking that they're going to be safe from. I mean, think about it. If you didn't think somebody was going to steal some info from your paper, you wouldn't take time to shred it. But shredding can make your nervous system feel safe. If you're afraid that somebody is going to crack the code on the safe, maybe it's one of those ones where you use, as you said, like your biometrics, your eyes or whatever, or a fingerprint or something to keep your things that are important safe. Because safety, notice earlier when I didn't show up on time, it was, oh goodness, I hope everything is okay, that nothing went wrong. The fear of something going wrong, but just examining that. All right. So, whew, yeah. Now the good news is I will share with you. In years past, I wouldn't be able to say where's the important stuff. I am in a lot better shape for that now. And also, frankly, I have a lot fewer things that I consider the important stuff. Even the important family photos, I've got more of those on my phone than ever before. So if I needed to, and I needed to keep the printed ones back here because my house is afire, I would have some that are digital. So this is a neat kind of exercise to think of, or just, play the game of. If my house was on fire and I had X amount of time to leave my house, could I do it? Where are my important things? And if they're not easily accessible, can I make them easily accessible? So just think about that. That could give you, again, peace of mind. Yay, we're safe. Yay, nothing bad has happened. Yay, I'm taking steps to ensure that nothing bad does happen should something unexpected go on. Just something to think about. Decluttering helps you more than just having your house look good for, um, Martha Stewart knocking on the door by accident. Okay. So hopefully that helps. With other important things, I mean, it is good to know like your account numbers for things. Do you have any accounts, your bank accounts, your investment accounts, that type of thing? That if you were not kind of in your regular, let's say you weren't on your regular computer, would you be able to log in easily to those things if your house burned down and you had to use the computer down at the library? Now, here's the thing, this isn't to get you in a tiz and be like, oh my God, but it's to help you realize, wait a minute, I can do something so that if that should happen, I know what to do. But even if it doesn't happen, notice this. Even if that never happens, anytime my brain goes to there of, oh, what happens if the house floods or too much snow and the roof collapses or it goes on fire or Auntie M, a tornado comes and it swirls away to Oz or thereabouts. I guess it technically didn't stop at Oz. It was in like the Lollipop Guild or whatever, the place, the Candyland. Anytime you think of that, when you have a plan in place, kind of like Lady Bandit is saying, go bag. Do not worry, we have a go bag. Yeah. Do not worry, we have a go bag. Yeah. And Shannon is saying, I never thought about decluttering as emergency preparedness. This is really interesting. And it truly is, because if you think about it, if we kind of backtrack and we remember what I talk about when we're defining a destination. Pardon me, I just saw my hair. I literally did just fly out of the shower and I can't get that hair. Sorry. Is not just what it looks like. So what it looks like on an everyday basis is going to be the number one that we usually focus on. But that's why I always remind you to say, go a level deeper. How does it function? And the functionality to me is three ways. Is how can I easily find the thing I'm looking for? Easily find it, easily use it, or perhaps in this case, easily pick it up and move it. Because if you put that stuff in a tote that is too big and heavy, it's going to be difficult to move. So is it easy to find, easy to move, and easy to, usually I say easy to find, easy to move, or easy to find, easy to use, easy to put away. If your house is burning, you're not going to be putting it away. But notice that functionality of how easily can I find what I'm looking for, and then just adding both in times of peace and in times of unexpected emergencies. So this might be a wonderful opportunity for you to review that. I feel a lot better now about where our stuff is because I literally just moved it from one drawer to the next. And also, this is going to sound dark, but I'm going to go there. If I die, I want whoever is going to have to go through my house in grief to know where my important stuff is, even if I was hiding it from somebody else. So I wrote a note to my sister to say, I know this is dark, but if Cliff and I both go down in a plane, this is where our stuff is located, so that my sister would not have to go try to find what was it? When my dad died, the safe deposit box key. We tore up the house. I don't even think somehow we found it, but it was extra stress on top of something else. Can you imagine the extra stress you would get if somebody says there's a tornado coming and you have 10 minutes to get out and you don't know where your important stuff is? And Robin, I love it. I have to have a list. My days revolve around my list. Great. Yay. Writing stuff down. Perhaps, maybe I'll do this, and I do jot things down. I do. I'm thinking to myself, if I say I don't use a packing list, I do write down a packing list. So I will, on the day before, right here, because notice I have my daily calendar. I still think I have a bit of the chemicals running through me of being feeling bad that I was late, that I'm a bit inarticulate now. But I'm going to write down pack for trip. And then the day before, let me see what I got there. Why not? I will make packing list. I'll experiment with that. One day I'll make the packing list. The next day I'll do the packing and I'll see if it makes any difference. And if it does, maybe Penny Myers, you convinced me to start using a packing list. All right. Ah, yeah, that's a good one too. Lori, I have to do that. She says, an info cemetery plot I got years ago after a twin died. Yeah, I know my parents have a plot, but I have done a digging around a lot in my mother's paperwork, and I have a lot of most of her stuff is in my house right now. I have yet to see the paperwork for the cemetery plot, so I have that on my list. But I'm doing one step at a time. First, I'm getting her a parish since our church closed. Then, after we get her funeraled out of there, where would the, could they have the plot prepped for the casket? But really good idea thinking about that kind of information as well. Luckily, if you have a will, please make a will. A simple will is better than no will at all for everybody who's going to be left. We have a paper copy of it. It's with our important papers, and there is a copy with the lawyer who drew it up. So just some things to think about when you're going through your paperwork. Is this something I would want to have with me in case of emergencies? Yeah. Now, I will say this. Yeah, Penny Myers, I love it. I always use a packing list. I do not often have international travel needs. Hope that will change. I hope it does too. That's one of my goals for this year. And already, as I look at my travel thing, I mean, this trip that we're going on next week was totally unexpected, and it is international. So this is something I would get curious about. Okay. I would get curious, Penny, what's the difference between packing for you, packing, you may not need to do a whole nother packing list. You could have like your standard packing list and then like the international addendum, right? So international addendum might include, the thing to plug in to the wall so you can use the hair dryer or charge your phone. It could be to make sure you have like double the amount of whatever meds you take, and instead of being in a Ziploc bag, they need to be in a, like a branded jar bottle. So, so notice that you may not need to reinvent the wheel. You may just need to add a few things and think, what is different between traveling domestically versus traveling internationally? It may just be a few things, but knowing you have those few things could make the difference. The good news is, though, this is what I say to myself too. And you know me, I don't like to buy stuff, but I always reassure myself to say, if for some reason I forget something, either I can make do or I can buy it somewhere. Okay? Yeah. So yes, as I created on paper, planning to save. Awesome. Good. Now, a couple of things about wills and power of attorneys. I am not an expert at this. I learned about it by going through my own stuff. But Lori is offering, Cat Mama saying, will and power of attorney if you don't have the mental capacity. Yep. That one persona, it says, also make sure it is legal and authorized in your state. A friend was the executor of her uncle's will, and legally it was full of holes because it was one of those online done at home type things. So this is where I highly encourage you. I know I feel better peace of mind having worked with an attorney who does like wills and all that type of stuff versus just going to wills.com and saving a couple of bucks, but then it could possibly have loopholes in it. So I think there are certain times when it is definitely an investment in my consistent peace of mind to know that I have the official documentation. And the funny thing is I'm not even going to be around to use it. It's going to be my people, right? There we go. Yep. And Lori's got her niece as her power of attorney. My niece can write checks for bills, even plan for the kitty. Yeah, I do that for my mom as well. So just some things to think about. Okay. Just some things to think about. Now, what I'm going to think about, though, is the fact that I got to wrap this up soon because I do have a client in just a couple of minutes. But I want to thank all of you for checking in with me. I feel bad that I made your nervous system kind of go, oh, what's wrong? She's usually there and she's not. I'm here. Everything is fine. Mistakes will happen. Humans will make mistakes. Even, machines and AI makes mistakes. So I'm not going to sweat it. But this reminds me to look at not just the calendar in my head, but the calendar I have written down, even seeing it on my phone. It was just one of those things. Okay. But, yeah. Now, Penny says, "Oi, what does that mean? My mom did a Susie Orman thing." I don't know what that means. I don't. Suze Orman, I think I've seen her before on the TVs. All right. Yeah. There we go. Penny Meyer says, "You gave us practice in reacting appropriately." I love it. You did something. You reached out because you care, and that means a lot. And I showed up because I care, not to say, "Oh, well, I didn't start at the beginning, so it doesn't matter." And I came in and immediately reassured you. So we can all kind of end up here. Okay. And Robin, I will say, Penny, Robin just put a thing in. I keep copies of documents on my carry-on. I also have a bag for cords and chargers in my carry-on, even when I'm home. That's two things I don't have to worry about. Okay. All right, friends. Well, I'm going to sign off now so I'm not late for my client. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow. I swear to God. 8 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern. Okay. All righty. I'll see you guys later. Bye.